Shalom again, everybody. Ariel Tzadok here from the KosherTorah School, found online at www.KosherTorah.com, bringing to you today's daily lesson in the Sefer Yetzirah. This is now lesson 83, and it's going to be a very special lesson, the likes of which we have not covered before. But this and all of our other lessons, of course, are dedicated to the safety, health, well-being, prosperity, protection of everybody around the world today, who are facing all kinds of trials and tribulations. And you know what I think the greatest illness that people are facing today? It's not the COVID. It's not the astrological influences. It's not even the mind-washing or brainwashing of whatever is going on out there to try to manipulate, divide, and conquer people. I think the greatest illness that we face today is the inability, or the willingness, maybe, to turn around the negative to a positive. Just to digress for a quick second. There is a famous man referenced in the Talmudic legends. We assume he was a historical figure, doesn't matter. His name was Nahum, and we refer to him as Ish Gamzu, which means he was the man who always said these words. This too what? This too is for good. That's what he always used to say. Gamzu letova. This too is for good. And whatever negative circumstances he found himself into, he pretty much said, I'm going to find the positive in this. Whatever obstacle is in front of me, I'm going to find the opportunity within it. And he would use the underlying psychic mentality of our Sefer Yetzirah to literally transform the reality of the world around him. Now, what I just said to you in a few short words is the reality of the, in quote, magic of the Sefer Yetzirah. Now, let me share with you something about real magic, as opposed to fake magic. I'm sure if you go Google online, look up magic, and you'll see all these rituals with the robes and all of these tools and things and all this. And it looks like something out of a movie in which people are trying to give, you know what? I was about to say they're trying to convince you of something, but rather, it's more like they're trying to convince themselves of something. Let me tell you something. That's not how real magic works. The Sefer Yetzirah is, in quote, real magic. Because it's not magic, it's science. And it's the science of the mind. It's the science of formation, not creation. Remember, we spoke about the difference. Creation, something out of nothing. That's what God does. Okay, we're sparks of God and all the rest. Yeah, but a spark of God is not God, okay? So just let's make sure we have clarity of what we really are. But we do have that spark of the divine within us. And in that respect, that image of God within us, we are all the same. The only political statement I'm going to make, all right, we're all the same. It doesn't matter what color hair a person has, what color eyes a person has, what color skin a person has, what color garments they have. None of that matters. We're all luminescent beings, as Master Yoda would say, not this crude matter. But in this crude matter world of ours, Gamzu letova, we have the power, in the power of mind and thought, psychic projection, to take any negativity and turn it into a positivity, or to take a positive and turn it into a negative. The forces that be in the world today, they know this power very well, and they can use it to manipulate the minds of sheep. Well, we are not sheep. We are human. And the power of magic isn't hocus pocus fantasy a la television or movie. Rather, it is the true focus of the expanded intellect, which combines with the true power of the intuitive, has greater insight into the in-depth reality of a thing, and then the realization of the practical implementation. Let me repeat those words. Practical implementation of change. So, if I want to change, as they say, lead to gold, the old alchemical formula, Well, today, with modern technology like the, what do they call them? The particle accelerators, they can actually break down molecular forms of lower molecular structure to recombine it to make actual gold. Yeah, they can actually physically do it. Somebody actually sat there, used their brain, and said, okay, I really want to turn lead to gold. How do I do it? I have to understand what is lead. I have to understand what is gold. I have to understand what is a molecule. What are the atomic structures? How they operate. What I can do to then influence them. And therefore, all this led to the creation of science, particle accelerators, and who knows where that's going to go. Who knows what other peripheral discoveries will be made as the mind explores. Now, this is an application in science. The same application is in the world of music, art, literature, math, construction, plumbing, electrician, whatever you do, this is your focus. Because remember this, and this is very important. Look at all the different possible permutations that there are. Remember we did the 22 factor? And we came up with the number, it's like septillion, whatever it is, some big enormous number. Well, why do we have such complexity? Simply because if you remember what the Kabbalah teaches, God in the beginning created the universe so that it could be called by his names. And every combination of a letter or letters is one of God's names. So all of this together is God's name. It is echoing the message of the biblical verse which says, Berov am hadrat melech. In the multitude of the people is the glory of the king. A person plays a single musical instrument, and it's beautiful. Get together 100 musical instruments, and you have an orchestra, and you have wonderful sound. Put together the ideas of a single scientist, and you have wonderful things. Put together a group of scientists, and you have the transformation of civilization. Apply that to music, apply that to art, apply that to science, apply that to everything. This is why, for example, what I love most about our Jewish religion, unlike many of our sister faiths, which seek to say the only way is this and everyone else is wrong, we say no. We have a pluralism of ideas and belief based upon the foundation, which is, of course, the Torah. Now, with this introduction of recognizing the power of fluidity and movement, I want to share with you a technique. In this specific series, we are now chapter 5, as you know. I've already covered with you the basics, the correlations of chapter 5, all the 12 elementals, but now I want to focus on things that, in my opinion at least, you should be aware of, that you can implement, put into practice in the ritual context of this book, but extrapolate from that the basic principles so that you can apply it in all areas of your individual lives and therefore practice real magic, psychic magic, the power of your mind to take the negah, plague, and turn it into a oneg, pleasure, to take ra'ah and turn it into tov. How do I do that? You will learn. You will learn, all right? How are you going to learn? Well, Rabbi, you expect me to teach you. I'm going to take you by the hand and show you everything, right? I've actually had people who say, Rabbi, show us everything. No, I most certainly will not. Think about it like the classic example of a parent teaching the child how to walk. The parent takes the child, stands it upright, and the child takes a step, falls into the parent's arm. Parent puts the child back up upright, takes 2 steps back, forces the child to take the 1 and the 2 steps before falling into the parent's arm. 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps, 6, until the child knows how to walk. That's my job, okay? No, I'm not your parent, I'm not your daddy, as they would say. But if I have something here that is of value to you, no, I can't give it to you. You have to take it. And as you take it, absorb it, and apply it within your personal reality, this is how you will be able to experience it and, as they say, own it. So for this lesson 83, I prepared for you something called the path of the wolf. All right? Nativ, remember the singular path. Ze'ev. Ze'ev is the correlation of the letters Zayin from Hokhma to Hesed. And then we go across the center column, Gevurah, I should say from Hokhma to Gevurah. That's the Zayin. And then from Gevurah back to Hesed is the Aleph. And then from the Hesed going all the way back up to Hokhma is the Bet. So here you have the elemental on the diagonal. You have the mother letter on the horizontal and the Bet on the vertical. You have a triangle. And even though in this diagram it actually looks like a 90-degree right angle, it's not. No, it's not. Remember, these are all just images. But the triangular formations, remember we had the Hesed, the Din, and the Gevurah, right, left, center? Well, you're always going to have this threefold formula. This is the triad. And the triad, of course, is the foundation of so many things. You have the thesis, the antithesis, and the synthesis. What's happening in our society today? You have one side and you have another side. But rather than the two sides facing away from each other, tearing away from the center, you have to have the two sides facing one another, finding the middle ground in harmony. Gamzu, the Tovah. So, I explain here the path of the wolf. I outline for you here. You see, there's the Zayin. Here's your Aleph and Bet. Those are your correlation points. And being that the path of the Zayin crosses over the center column where the Dalet is, I threw that in. It's not part of the path, but it overlaps the path. So it's in there. And as you'll see on the page here, while the other letters are written in bold, this I put in regular print. Why? To show that it's, if you will, concealed as opposed to revealed. Its emphasis is subtle as opposed to overt. Now, what does all that mean? Ah, my dear student, that's for you to decide. Each combination of letters creates its own forms, words. Each set of forms, words, create their own reality. What is the true nature of each reality can only be ascertained by the contemplative mind. So what is the path of the wolf? What do we discover when I contemplate the Zayin in relationship to the Aleph, in relationship to the Bet, specifically in that order, going from Hokhma to Gevurah, from Gevurah to Hesed, and from Hesed back up to Hokhma? I'm making a big triangular path here. What does it mean? Well, under my Zayin path, I have the Hebrew month of Sivan and Gemini, the tribe of Zebulon, the path of Hokhma Gevurah, which of course is what we're walking. It says to correspond to the left foot movement and low east, whatever that means. In Gevurah, I attach into the Aleph, which connects spirit, air, mild temperature, and of course the body. In the letter Bet, going back up, it connects me to Sunday, the moon, the right eye, wisdom, and Hokhma Hesed. What do I do with all of that? Again, you're waiting for me to give you answers. I'm not going to. You're going to take every triad that you can see. Go count how many triads there are, triangles, in the 10 sefirot, in the diagrams there, okay? You're going to find there are more than a dozen. And you can contemplate each one as the combination of letters, some of which are going to form common words in Hebrew, like Zayin, Aleph, and Bet, which forms Ze'ev, which means wolf. Does this actually have anything to do with an actual real wolf? And that's an interesting story. As you know from the Bible, and this you'll see in the notes there, it says in the Bible that Adam gave the animals their names in the Garden of Eden. Well, the Zohar, based on the Sefer Yetzirah, says that what he did was he was able to look into the spiritual nature of each and every form and recognized its energy or letter components. So Adam was able to look into the form of the ze'ev, the wolf, and he was able to recognize, almost like the code of the matrix, what its formula was, what its source was, how the letter Zion was dominant, how the letter Aleph was secondary, and then third, the Bet, without a fourth letter. He recognized these things. And it is said that is how he was able to give, in quote, names to things. You see, the original Adam, as we know, is not of this earth. He was not in a physical body. He was luminescent. As such, he had the energetic vision. Now, we still do have the energetic vision, but unfortunately, we need our little spiritual glasses to see it clearly. So that is what this contemplative exercise is all about. You will take the individual letters and you'll combine them, just like it says, tzarafan ze beze, mix and merge them, this one with that one. Come up with different combinations, some of which may be Hebrew words. Some of them might be English, French, Spanish, or another language words. Really? If I took different Hebrew letters, I can form words from every language? Oh, absolutely. Abu Lafi talks about that all the time. Remember what the letters are. They're just forms. They're vessels for an energy within. So you can contemplate anything and everything in this entire reality and gain insight into it. Access deeper levels of energetic reality underneath its surface. And when you tap into that, rather than think that you can magically make things happen, it doesn't happen like that. Contemplate, what can I do really to make a difference? Yes, you can project energy. You can project thought. Okay? It's imaginative faculty of the mind. I am right now visualizing my entire audience. Every one of you is out there listening. I'm projecting a positive imprint of energy upon you. Literally and honestly, right this second as I'm doing this. It's going out from my mind, all right? You see with my hands, because I'm acting it out, I'm making it, projecting it, and making it real. Wherever you are in time, wherever you are in space, I'm projecting out to you. Done. Some of you felt nothing. Some of you might have felt something. It will transcend space and time because what I transmitted was the power of my mind. Now, I do not expect that what I just did is going to give you the secret of the theory of everything in the universe, teach you how to create warp drive, teach you how to cure the common cold. Can it do that? Oh, God bless that it should. All right? But if that happens, that's you're running with it, not me. In other words, you received and you take and go. That's the secret here. So if you gain insight, if you gain understanding, remember the whole order of the sefirotic? From the nothing of the mind to the will, keter, into the intuition grasping, sechel tenudah, into the understanding of bina, and then passion, the sefirotic, materialize ultimately in the form, the letters, malchut. That's what you got to do. And you will, as they say, find when there's a will, keter, there's a way, malchut. And that's why it's called a netiv or netivot, meaning individual specific paths that you as an individual will discover. This is the path of the wolf. This is how we combine letters, seek meaning in them. If you wish to work with the Zion and the Aleph and the Bet, and contemplate what does it mean to go from Hokhma into Gevurah, and then from Gevurah back to the right column of Hesed, and then from Hesed back to Hokhma. What does that mean to me? Think about it. Contemplate it. Experiment with it. This is the Hakika and the Hakira and the Tzirufin and the Shakalan and all the rest. This is putting it all into practice. If you find something good, materialize it. If you find something bad, change it. You have the real power to create real magic, to make a real difference in this world. That is what you have to do. If you will accomplish that, you'll understand the entire meaning of what this Sefer Yetzirah course is all about and why we're taking so much time to focus on its reality. Check out the other meditative courses I have online for you. Work with this stuff. Make a difference in the world. I mean, right now, we need it more than ever. I'll see you on our next class. Take care.